Math Module 2, Lesson 27. I can divide decimal dividends by two-digit divisors, estimating quotients, reasoning about the placement of the decimal point, and making connections to a written method. Make sure everything I do in the video, you're doing in your workbook. If you need to pause to catch up, do so. If you're a little lost, let's rewind. Good luck! Problem number 1. In a 77-kilometer race, each of 22 team members runs an equal distance. How many kilometers does each team member run? So, I have 22 team members. We can get rid of that plural right there. It's a 77-kilometer race, so that's my total. And I need to figure out for each team member, so that means one team member, how much are they going to run? So my total would be my dividend, and notice they run an equal distance. So 77 is my dividend. My divisor is how many team members I have. So I've got to figure it out for one team member. So let's think about this. 77 divided by 22. So I need to break it up, make it small. So I'm going to start with my tens for division. So 7 divided by 22 I can't do, so I put the X, so I'm not even tempted to write a number. So 77 divided by 22. So I'm going to do my little tool box. So let's try 22 times 3, because 20 times 3 is 60, so let's do 22. 6, 6. Let's try 22 times 4. 8 and 8. Okay, so it must be 6. It must be 3. Yikes. So 3 times 22, I already have that answer, 66. Now I subtract. 7 minus 6 is 1. 7 minus 6 is 1. Well, just like we did before, we're going to continue. So now I bring down, because I just subtracted, so now I have 110 divided by 22. So let's try, I did 4, so let's do 22 times 5. 10, carry the 10, 5 times 2, 10 plus 1 is 11. Ooh. So 110 divided by 22 is 5. 5 times 22 I already know is 110. Subtract zeros across the board. We love it. So I can't forget my decimal. It's got to line up. So I go back to my question. How many kilometers does each team member run? 3.5 kilometers. Now we're going to write our answer statement. So each team member will run 3.5 kilometers during the race. Make sure you showed all the work. Problem 2. A vial contains 14 7/10 milliliters of serum that is then split equally into 21 tiny containers. How much serum is in each new container? So I know I have 14 milliliters of serum, so that's kind of my total. And then it's split equally into 21 tiny containers. So how much is in each new container? So that means one new container. So when I'm trying to figure it out for one, I have to divide. So we have our dividend, which is our total, 14 7/10, divided by, well, how many containers? 21. And that's going to tell me how much serum is going to go in one container after I do this division. So I need to start with 1. So 1 divided by 21, can't do it. 1's too small, 21's too large. So now I need to think 14. So 14 divided by 21, or how many 21s can go into 14? 14 is too small, 21 is too big. So now I have 147. So 147 divided by 21, or how many 21s can go into 147? Well, I'm going to think about this. 21 is really close to 20, so let's count. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. So that's 5. 140, or 120, 140. So I think 7. So let's try my toolbox. So let's do 21 times 7. 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 2 is 14. So, hey, that's my quotient. So 7 times 21 I already have, 147. So I multiplied, so now I have to subtract. Oh, beautiful, it's all zeros. So now the only thing I have to remember is my decimal. So 7/10 is how much serum is in each new container. But it's not just 7/10, it's 7/10 of a milliliter. So now let's write our answer statement. 0 and 7/10 milliliters, that's a capital L by the way, and lowercase m, of serum is in each container. Period. Make sure all the work I did, you did too. Good luck. Problem number 3. The surface area of a rectangular piece of construction paper is 140 and 25/100 square inches. If the paper's length is 17 inches, what is the width? So I'm going to draw this. So I've got a rectangular piece of paper, and I know my area, my square surface area, is 145 square inches, okay? So inches with a flying 2. And I know my length is 17. Okay, so I need to figure out the width, and I don't know what that is. So if I know my total, which is 140 and 25/100, and I know my length, and length times which gets my area, so let's do the opposite of multiplication. We divide. So I know my total, so 140 and 25/100 divided by what I do know, which is my length, so 17. So start with 1. 1 divided by 17. I can't do. 1's too tiny. 17's too big. So now I have 14. 14 divided by 17. Still too small. 17's too big. So 140. Well, I need to do my toolkit because I'm not really sure. Or toolbox. So 17 and 140. Oh my goodness. All right. So I'm going to count by 15s because 17 is close to 15. 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90, 105, 120, 135. So 9 15s. So I'm going to do 17 times 9 because 15 is close to 17. 9 times 7 is 63. Carry the 6. 9 times 1 is 9 plus 6 is, oh, too high. All right, so let's do 17 times 8. 8 times 7 is 56. Carry the 5. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 5 is 136. All right, so let's try 8 in my quotients. So 8 times 17 is 136. Just multiply, so now I subtract. So I can't do 0 minus 6. So I got to borrow from my 4, make it a 3, and this becomes a 10. So 10 minus 6 is 4. 3 minus 3 is 0. 1 minus 1 is 0. So now I bring down. So now I have 42. So, let's see. 15 times 3 is 45. So let's try 17 times 3. 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 2 is 5, so too high. So let's try 17 times 2. 2 times 7 is 14, carry the 10. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3, so 34. So let's put a 2 in my quotient. 2 times 17, 34. I subtract now. 2 minus 4 I can't do, so I need to borrow, which makes it the 4 a 3 and the 2 a 12. 12 minus 4 is 8. 3 minus 3 is 0. Still have to bring down the next number. 85. Okay, let's count by 15s again. So I need to get close to 85. 15, 30, 45, 60, 75. So I think 5. So let's do 17 times 5. 5 times 7 is 35, carry the 3. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 3 is 8. Ooh, I love those. So let's put 5. 5 times 17 is 85. 85 minus 85 is 0. We love those. So the only thing I need to do is add my decimal. So 8 and 25 hundredths, and my width would be in inches. So now I need to write my answer statement. The width of the paper is 8 and 25 hundredths inches. And there you go. That's our answer. Make sure you show all your work.